When it comes to trucks, Chevy has the right truck for the job. Chevy has what buyers are looking for. Tough on the outside, comfortable and convenient on the inside, with a drivetrain that answers driving needs at work or at play. The right truck for the job. A comparison with Ford will show just how right. Let's start with the pickups. Both Chevy and Ford offer a full lineup of 2- and 4-wheel drive pickups in half-ton, 3/4-ton, and 1-ton series. Here's how 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive model lineups compare. Chevy Series 10 half-ton pickups compare with Ford's 100 and 150 series pickups. Chevy's 3/4-ton 20 series with Ford's 250 series. And 1-ton Chevy 30 series trucks with Ford's 350 series. Within each series, however, Chevy offers extra pickup models, offering a wider choice to get the right pickup to do the job. Here's the Chevy truck that holds a big load of people as well as cargo. The 4-door crew cab, shown here with the Fleetside 8-foot pickup box. It holds 6 adults and has GVW ratings up to 10,000 pounds in the 30 series. From Ford, crew cabs are no longer available. For those who want the security of an enclosed cargo space, the bonus cab offers the convenience of 4 doors and up to 56 cubic feet of load space behind the front seat. Ford's answer to extra roominess is this super cab. It has only 39 cubic feet of load space, which is accessible only from the front doors. And there's even more value from Chevy that Ford doesn't offer. Chevy Crew Cab and Bonus Cab are available in 4-wheel drive models, ready for rugged off-road travel, moving people and cargo when the going gets rough. For heavy hauling, Chevy and Ford both offer dual rear-wheel pickups, but only Chevy's Big Dually is available with a crew or bonus cab. In addition, Chevy Big Dually can carry the load off the road 4-wheel drive style. Shown here is the increasingly popular 4-wheel drive chassis cab, not available from Ford. Another Chevy exclusive, diesel power. 4 2-wheel drive C10 diesel models in short and long wheelbase, fleet side and step side, equipped with a 5.7-liter V8 diesel engine. Diesel dependability in a Chevy pickup truck, not available from Ford. More models, more versatility to get the job done on or off the road, and diesel power. All Chevy advantages from a versatile, hard-working family of pickup trucks. Off-the-road driving used to be strictly transportation. With the ruts, the bumps, and the breakdowns, you really had to have determination to get there. Today, the determination is still there, but it's directed to the enjoyment of rough off-road action. Chevy Blazer provides that enjoyment with a tough, comfortable, efficient truck. Road-grabbing, high-spirited, living up to the challenge, Blazer has what it takes to get there. On the road, Blazer is every bit a tough truck, yet comfortable and convenient for people to operate. Chevy value, Chevy quality. Let's compare with Ford's Bronco. Let's see how Blazer makes the difference. Blazer and Bronco both offer part-time 4-wheel drive systems to get power to all the wheels when the going gets rough. But one big difference between Blazer and Bronco is here. The economical 2-wheel drive Blazer. Bronco does not offer a 2-wheel drive model. Chevy Value provides lots of standard equipment and styling trim to ensure Blazer's bold good looks. The luxury of high-back bucket seats for the driver and passenger comes standard on Blazer. Low-back seats come standard with Bronco. Another Chevy Value edge. This trailer is being pulled with the optional factory-installed deadweight trailer hitch. Pulls up to 4,000 pounds for those who need to do something extra with their Blazer. Another hard-working trailering option for Blazers, a hitch platform that distributes trailer weight and pulls up to 6,000 pounds. Bronco does not offer a factory-installed trailer hitch. Now let's compare the trim and comfort features buyers want. First, the extra features and equipment with Blazer's Silverado trim as compared to Bronco's Ranger XLT trim. Blazer offers voltmeter, oil pressure gauge, console, visor mirror, underhood insulation, wheel opening moldings, every item. A Chevy Value edge for buyers who want the strong styling accents, the good looks, the extra functional equipment offered by features like these. Bronco, redesigned, restyled, yet still lacking many features buyers traditionally associate with Chevy. Blazer, with significant advantages over Bronco in model lineup, standard equipment, options, and trim levels. With cab comfort and operating convenience, Chevy has the right truck for the job. A comparison with the redesigned Ford pickups and Bronco will show how the continuing evolution of Chevy offers significant advantages. To help make getting in and out of Chevy trucks easy, there are 2 door check positions as the door is opened. Helps out in parking lots. Open the Ford pickup. The door does not stay open at the halfway point, an added inconvenience. For those who want the convenience of a day or night rear view mirror without paying extra, Chevy has it standard, not Ford. A complete convenience group package must be ordered. Chevy pickups and Blazers have flow-through power ventilation, which gives constant, complete air circulation. It's an important Chevy value edge. Ford has power ventilation, but no exhaust vents. No flow-through ventilation is available. A roomy glove box is a must in any vehicle. Chevy pickups and Blazers have lots of room. They hold the items people reach for all the time. But with Ford, optional air conditioning takes up valuable glove box space. Even without air conditioning, Ford's glove box is very small and oddly shaped. These items sitting on the seat all fit in the Chevy glove box. Chevy door handles are easy to reach, easy to use, and they don't spring back too hard. Ford has an unconventional door handle, and when released, comes back down hard, even strikes the door trim panel. One would think the hundreds of millions of dollars Ford has invested in its new truck would have paid off in extra room for the driver and passengers. Not so. Chevy still has advantages in interior roominess. More headroom, more shoulder room, more leg room. Getting in and out of Blazer is easy, even to the back seat. A wide door opening and a low step height add extra convenience. Inside, there's a tow guard, and it's easy to pull the front seat down into place. The seat rests firmly on the floor, stays put. Getting into Bronco is another story. This seat release latch must be pushed back all the way, or Bronco's optional high back seat restricts rear entry room. Driver and passengers must remember to push the latch all the way. Inside Bronco, no tow guard. Notice where the seat attaches to the floor? A bulky black metal plate. In Blazer, the optional rear seat fold-down is easier. The latch is finished with a plastic housing, and the seat remains firmly locked in the folded position. Another plus, Blazer has more cargo room than Bronco. With the seat folded, 8 cubic feet. More with the seat removed, over 3 cubic feet more. To fold down Bronco's rear seat, simply unlatch it. Notice the latch, exposed, unfinished, and the seat is not secure. Abrupt acceleration might cause it to fall back down, perhaps on valuable cargo. Another Chevy truck quality advantage. The trim around the door sill fits neatly, leaves a smooth, finished look. Ford's door sill leaves a ragged cut metal rear edge. And look at the electrical wires sticking out. Chevy's available folding seat back is covered with vinyl for a neat appearance. Ford's available folding seat back is not covered, leaving an unfinished appearance and the padding unprotected. Power door locks, another Chevy convenience edge not available from Ford. Ford's redesigned plastic sliding door locks add to the inconvenience of reaching across. Power windows, another Chevy advantage in optional equipment, not available from Ford. Here's a Chevy value edge in the luxury of stereo sound. With Chevy's optional stereo radio, there are 4 strategically placed speakers, even in pickups. Ford offers only 2 speakers in pickups. To help prevent a dead battery caused by leaving headlights on, Chevy offers an optional headlamp warning buzzer. Ford offers this feature only as part of their convenience package. The constant evolution of Chevy engineering and design provides the good fit and finish, the proven riding comfort, the operating convenience, and fine-tuned Chevy value through and through. People expect their trucks to have plenty of built-in value and quality. Let's compare design and build features, Chevy versus Ford. One Chevy advantage is due to this massive girder-independent front suspension system, standard on every 2-wheel drive pickup, Blazer, Suburban, and van. The wheel, spring, and shock on each side is designed to react independently to road shock without transferring forces to the other side. Ford uses their twin I-beam independent front suspension with I-beams that go from each wheel to the other side of the truck. Of course, in operation, the wheel arcs much more than Chevy's. To demonstrate this, we'll compare the popular Chevy Big Ten Fleet side with the Ford F-150 style side. We'll run both trucks over this concrete parking block, 6 inches high, 6 inches wide. At normal film speed, it's hard to fully appreciate the difference. But look again in slow motion. These lines show the movement of each wheel during impact. The Chevy wheel is closer to the vertical axis. Notice how the Ford wheel arcs. This could lead to more tire scuffing. With Chevy's massive girder beam independent front suspension, caster, camber, and toe-in adjustments can be made at these points. This year, Ford's twin I-beam can be adjusted for toe-in on both sides. But if camber or caster needs to be set, here's what Ford's own shop service manual recommends. Twin I-beam axles are not to be bent or twisted to correct caster or camber readings. It also says, if the caster and camber measurements exceed the maximum variances, inspect for damaged front suspension components. Replace as required. To help control the wheels over rough roads, Chevy rear shocks are counter-angled. Helps prevent wheel hop during acceleration and during braking for a smooth ride. Ford rear shocks are not counter-angled. Both shocks react to bumps in the same manner. Another Chevy value feature advantage, a tough Salisbury rear axle. A 3-piece housing with inspection plates makes differential servicing easy. To service Ford's rear axle differential, it must be removed from the truck. For brake cooling and heat dissipation, Chevrolet's rear brake drums are finned, providing more cooling surface. Ford's smaller rear brake drums have no cooling fins. And Chevy's front disc brakes come equipped with an audible lining wear sensor, one for each side. They signal to replace brake pads before they wear down too far. Ford offers no brake lining wear sensor. Chevy's front bumper has 6 attaching bolts, with corner bracing for added protection from side impacts. Ford's front bumper has 4 attaching bolts and no corner braces. Under the hood, another important Chevy value edge. The main engine and headlamp wiring harnesses are shielded with plastic conduit. Also protected are the starter solenoid, coil, and voltage regulator. They are integrated and sealed from the elements. Fewer electrical connections, less exposed wiring. Overall, for a neater, cleaner, easier to work in engine compartment, Chevy routes wiring out of the way. Ford wiring is routed less carefully than Chevy. And notice how the starter solenoid, coil, and voltage regulator are located and mounted separately. Wiring and connectors are more exposed to the weather. And Ford uses plastic electrical tape for protection from the elements. Chevy and Ford both have maintenance-free batteries. But the Delco Freedom battery has side-mounted terminals for extra terminal corrosion protection and features a visible charge indicator. Chevy's battery has more power with 45 amperes compared to Ford's 36 amps. At the rear edge of the hood, Ford's air intakes for ventilation are unscreened. Chevy Value provides a screen to filter out leaves and other debris. For a good-looking finish, Chevy has a rigid stamped single-piece door frame. Ford's door opening frame is made of several stamped and welded pieces. The Chevy instrument panel provides for front service access to gauges and lights, and it's made of a single stamped piece of metal. To service instruments and lights on the Ford dash panel, access is possible only from the rear. Pickup trucks have got to be strong. Chevy uses double-wall construction on fleet-side box sides and tailgate. Box panels are bolted in, too, for easy removal and replacement. Ford uses a single pickup box with a welded bathtub-like inner liner as its second wall. If damaged, difficult and costly to replace. Experience builds Chevy trucks with built-in value, built-in quality, the know-how that builds trucks to stay tough. For a power team to suit the need, get power to the road with the right choice of engine, transmission, and rear axle ratio. Chevy has the right truck for the job, with responsive power, efficient power. Chevy pickups have a full line of power performers. From the hard-working, economical 4.1-liter 250 cubic inch six-cylinder to all the muscle power that a 7.4-liter 454 cubic inch V8 delivers. In all, 6 hard-working gasoline engines. Plus popular diesel power from a 5.7-liter V8, a V8 performer with diesel efficiency. Ford has only 4 engines, no big 7.4-liter V8, and no diesel power. Chevy Blazer and Ford Bronco have similar engine lineups, but Ford's 351 V8 has a 2-barrel carburetor. Chevy's 350 V8 features a 4-barrel carburetor that only uses 2 small barrels for normal operation. But when more power is needed, all 4 barrels are activated. Ford has spent hundreds of millions of dollars in redesigning their truck line and placed tremendous emphasis on achieving improved mileage to help meet today's need for fuel efficiency. All this, yet Ford EPA mileage rating improvements have been far from dramatic. With 6-cylinder engines, in the Chevy C10 and Ford's F100 and F150, federal EPA estimated MPGs are equivalent at 18 miles per gallon. Ford does report 19 MPG when their 6 is paired with an optional 4-speed overdrive transmission. But the cost is $201. It would take 5 years to offset this added cost, driving 12,000 miles per year with fuel at $1 per gallon. With small 8-cylinder engines, the same story. Both Chevy and Ford have an estimated MPG of 16, and that's with either the 3-speed manual or automatic transmission. With the larger V8s, Chevy's 5.7-liter versus Ford's 5.8-liter, Chevy C10 has an edge of 3 miles per gallon in both estimated MPG and estimated highway. Even with the popular automatic transmission, Chevy still has an advantage. Chevy's 5.7-liter V8 also provides economy in 4-wheel drive. Here, Blazer has higher EPA estimates than Bronco. Every Chevy pickup and Blazer is wider, roomier than comparable Ford products. Yet Chevy Value offers the same, or in some cases better, EPA estimates. Remember to tell your customers to use the estimated miles per gallon for comparisons. Their mileage may be different depending on their speed, trip length, and weather. Actual highway mileage will probably be less than the estimated highway fuel economy. At the power end of the lineup, only Chevy offers more than 6.6 liters of V8 power, especially important for big payloads. In fact, all gasoline-powered Chevy V8s, with the exception of the 5-liter engine, have more horsepower inch for cubic inch than comparable Ford engines. Let's put that power to work carrying payload with Chevy's 5-liter V8 versus Ford's equivalent 5-liter engine. For demonstration purposes only, we're going to run each truck full throttle 600 feet up a 5% mountain grade against an electronic timer. A police-type radar gun will record speeds. A Chevy Big 10 and a Ford F-150 have been loaded to 5,600 pounds of actual vehicle weight, driver included. Engine displacements, horsepower ratings, transmissions, and rear axles, for all practical purposes, are nearly identical. Ford, at the start, uphill. Engine, drivetrain, and axle operating at maximum capacity. Ford's time, 14.471 seconds, and the radar gun clocked 43.4 miles per hour, top speed. Now Chevy. Total time, 13.323 seconds. Over a full second faster than the Ford, and a top speed of 45.8. Almost 2.5 more miles per hour top speed than Ford. These results could vary somewhat with different trucks, but this demonstration does serve to show the impressive acceleration in Chevy trucks. Now compare GVW ratings and gross payload capacities. Gross payload includes passengers, cargo, and options. First, two-wheel drives. Look at the Chevy Edge. Chevy pickups have greater or equal maximum GVWRs in every series, and the same is true for maximum gross payload, with one exception. Now look at 4x4s. Only Ford's F-150 has an edge. Even after huge redesigning investment and effort, Ford still falls short in both GVWR and payload comparisons. Chevy offers the wide payload and GVWR ranges that buyers need in order to select the working capabilities for special jobs. For operating economy, for power, for overall efficiency, Chevy gets the job done with the right drivetrain to meet the need. When the going gets tough, the tough get going, four-wheel drive style. For work where roads don't go. For play. For extra traction in snowy weather. Chevy four-wheel drive pickups and Blazers have what it takes. Compare Chevy four-wheel drive with Ford. Chevy offers features not available with the redesigned four-wheelers from Ford. Both offer nearly identical part-time four-wheel drive systems. These standard systems are engaged by manually locking in the front hubs and shifting into the four-wheel drive mode. Let's get them rolling and compare some big differences. Here's what takes a beating: the front suspension. Chevy provides a solid front axle. Ford's front suspension is a redesigned twin I-beam two-wheel drive suspension for use with four-wheel drive. There is no solid front axle. Two axle stampings are attached here and here to the frame. For a smooth ride, Chevy provides these tapered leaf springs. They're a reverse arch spring and contribute to Chevy's low step height and loading height. The front springs on a Blazer, for example, have a combined 3,300-pound rating. Ford's coil springs have a combined rating of only 2,350 pounds. Ford provides leaf springs only on 3/4 and 1-ton pickups. And notice the exposed axle shaft peeking out from the hole in the front axle stamping. Ford's four-wheel drive front suspension system has a wide twin traction beam configuration with exposed working components in the front and in the rear. Possible trouble spots when running in mud, snow, or sand. Contrast this with Chevy's slender, solid front axle system where all of the working components are fully enclosed, out of harm's way. Let's compare what happens when we run both vehicles through this pond with a soft, sandy bottom. First, the Chevy. Now, the Ford. Let's take a closer look. On the Ford, the wide beam configuration scooped up the mud and coated the entire system, including the working components, front and rear. Imagine the buildup that could develop when driving for long periods through deep snow. On the Chevy, the solid front axle is also coated with mud. But the difference is that the working components are enclosed within a one-piece housing. Critical moving parts are protected. Chevy has tough 4x4s to meet the challenges of today's on- and off-road trucking needs, for work or for play.